Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the You Are Radically Loved Summit. Our next guest, I feel, needs no introduction. She is here to talk about being strong and what it takes to actually be a strong person in the modern day. I couldn't think of a better person to read this chapter. I mean, Amberly is not only a best-selling author, she is an expert in the field of transformation and resilience and health and wellness. And she's a wife, she's a mom, and she is truly inspiring force to be reckoned with. I love her so much, and I am so grateful that she's here with us today. Here's my conversation with Amberly Lago. Here we are back at the You Are Radically Loved Summit. And Amberly, this chapter, when I was thinking about a person, I'm like, I mean, it's so many, right? I mean, I know a lot of strong people, but when I was reading through and I'm like, who would be really good to talk about strength? Amberly.
Girl, your book. I have just been gushing over it. I've already been telling people about it. It's so good. And I feel honored to get to talk to you about the chapter on being strong. So thank you for that. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm not a really good reader. Like I have a short attention span. I could not put your book down this morning, and I was almost late for my client because I couldn't stop. I wanted to finish reading it. And so I was telling her all about it. She's like, I want it. How do I buy it? She started looking it up and said, you can pre-order it. Like, let me buy it for you. I'll get it for you. But it's so good. Congratulations. I mean, it's incredible.
Wow, thanks. Thank you very much. I'm trying to get better about receiving, So thank you. I'm really I'm excited, and I'm excited to share. And I think one of the reasons why I was so excited to do this with people that I love and admire is because I wanted people to be able to share, a story or something similar. We especially right now, what we're going through, this collective transformation, it feels like. I feel like it requires a lot of resilience, a lot of strength. And my big focus is always on love. Like, let's focus on love. And if we're in pain, it's okay to be in pain. How do we continue to move through? And that's one of the reasons, again, why you've shared your story on our podcast and on your incredible podcast as well. And I feel like one of the things that I was curious for you is when you are going through moments, and we can talk about either a moment in your life, but for right now, like dealing with the world at large, day to day, where do you have to go to pull that strength? I mean, you're a mom, like there's so many things going on with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so many different things going on in the world. What is strength? What does being strong mean to you? And how do you go there every day? Is there a practice that you do? Like where do you pull from? Where does that reservoir live within you?
Well, I think that growing up in Texas, it's part of your DNA is grit and strength. I really do. Like I was raised, we had to kind of fend for ourselves, man. I had an older brother that used to beat the crap out of me. We've made up since, but I mean, I learned from a young age that I needed to take care of myself, and I was never going to be bigger or stronger than him, but I sure as heck was going to work to get stronger so I could fight him off. And so it really started at a young age with growing up with being, the only girl in the family for 13 years. Before my little sister was born, being an athlete and having a coach she was a drill sergeant, and she taught me how to push through. And that's one thing that I love in your book is you talk about not, pushing, going through the pain. And that's what I've had to learn because, growing up an athlete and having to get through some moments where you're conditioning yourself, and you being a runner, this too. It's like it can be painful at moments, especially when you're trying to beat your time. And so I did learn a lot. But when I was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome, which is dubbed the suicide disease because it's ranked highest on the pain scale and there's no known cure, and I'm dubbed with this disease after going through 34 surgeries to save my leg from amputation, and to find out that the pain's just never going to get better, that this is the rest of my life. That has been something that I've had to really get strong, not just in a moment, not like every day, because I'm still in pain every day. And I mean, pain's pain. And we've all experienced pain in one form or another, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain or, any kind of spiritual pain, whatever kind of pain, we all experience pain, and we have to draw on strength. And what I've learned is that the thing that I think that's helped me the most, that gives me the most strength, is knowing that I'm not alone on the journey, that there are other people that are experiencing something similar to me, that there are other people that have gone through something similar and they've made it through the other side. So that gives me strength, that gives me hope. But also knowing that, when I was at my lowest point, and I didn't want to live anymore, knowing that there was something bigger than me. For me, I call that God. So I call on God every day, pray, and just pray what I'm grateful for. Pray that God will walk me through some of the challenges throughout the day. And so knowing that I'm not alone, and having other people around me that have gone through similar experiences, calling on a higher power. And then honestly, having friends like you really helps me in moments where I'm scared. I remember when I was struggling with COVID and I was really sick, you called and checked on me every day. I mean, you were just there for me. And I think that for so long, I felt like, oh, being strong is being able to do it all on my own. I've just got to get her done. I got to suck it up and stuff it down. And you really share this in your book, that it's not about, pushing it down. It's about experiencing those feelings and knowing that sometimes it might take a little bit longer to get enough strength to get through certain situations. But when we just are willing to take a look at it, we're willing to do the work to keep moving forward, and we call on our friends, on our higher power, and every ounce of strength that we have sometimes in some moments, then we can keep going forward. And it's not, my grandmother, she's 97 years old, and she is so strong. She is like, lives in a 2-story house. She out on a pecan grove. She still picks all her own pecans off the ground, loads them up, gardens. And I said, Granny, you are so strong. And she said, yeah, Amberly, but it's hard to be strong all the time. And it is. And so I think that we can still be strong and have moments of feeling like, gosh, I just don't feel strong.
Yeah.
And know that we can tap into our innermost strength and resilience and grit again and get through some tough moments, but we might just need a little help sometimes, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I love everything that you're saying. I mean, I love, because this is again another reason why I love talking to you, and I love listening to your podcasts, and I loved reading your book, because there's something about, to me, I'm obviously, you knowing my story, like I connect really well with people who have gone through those places, the sort of familiarity of being in that dark or shadow place. There's that grit that you need in order to push through it, right? And I don't want to say push through it like how you were saying, yeah, it's we can very easily get swept away by doing everything ourselves and being autonomous and not asking for help because we want to grit through it. We want to just do it. We're strong. We can just move forward. But I love what you're saying about it. A sign of strength is actually releasing and surrendering that control, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I remember one of the conversations that we had before, and I can't remember where it was, if we were out somewhere having a smoothie or like a smoothie bowl, or if it was just a conversation that we had. But I remember you telling me about, you woke up and you have these, sometimes you have moments where it's not a good day for you. It's like you're having a flare up or something's happening, and you have to really, because you are such a go-getter, you have to be able to go into that place of, okay, like my body's doing this. I need to accept it. And I need to just be in this moment right now, as opposed to hitting the fast forward button. Right.
Yeah. And, and it's just the other day, the pain was so bad that I had to be back on my crutches, and I have these Canadian crutches. They're the ones that wrap around your wrist, and you can tell if somebody's used crutches for a long time. They usually have those kind of crutches, and man, I can haul ass with these crutches. I'm pretty fast, but it's still like a mindset. It gets me in a funk. Like, dang it, I have to use these crutches. I can't walk. I mean, I can walk, but not for long. And my daughter, Ruby, who talk about strong, that girl, she's got some strength and some grit. And she had a horseback riding competition that I really wanted to go to. And I thought, well, the only way I'm going to be able to walk all the way across the different competition arenas that they were going to be in is to take my crutches. And I was there with my hubby, and I looked at him and I was like, gosh, I wish these moms would stop looking at me, and like, I don't want them to have pity on me. I don't want them to ask questions. I don't want Ruby to worry about like helping me find a place to sit or something. And he goes, Amberly, who gives a F what anybody else thinks? Like, you've got to take care of your health, and who cares? And I was like, oh yeah, who cares? And then I was like, oh yeah, at least. And I thought, wow, I'm just grateful that I can be here and I can use these crutches to help me get from over here to over there a lot faster. And it shifted my whole perspective when I got into gratitude, when I just accepted, well, this is what it looks like today. And you know what? It changed the way that people looked at me, because I had more of a confidence about me and the way that I was moving. And I actually had this one lady go, wow, you can get around good on those things. I was like, thank you, and it was like, then no one asked questions, but it was me being vulnerable in the moment and admitting that, this kind of sucks. And I was about to have a little pity party. It was me shifting my perspective with gratitude. And then it was just, carrying on through the day the best that I could. But yeah, sometimes I think that we have to, I used to think that being vulnerable or admitting something made me look weak, or, being in a place where I had to just admit that something was wrong, or that I wasn't 100%, or I wasn't at my best, made me look weak. But what I realized is we're all human, doing the best that we can do, and just all trying to figure it out as we go along. And I have been able to connect with more people through just being completely authentic and telling it like it is. I mean, yeah, on social media, it looks cool if you've got somebody that's winning it all the time and they're posting all their wins. But I'm telling you, I have more engagement on a post where I'm keeping it real. And I'm just like, hey, this is what happened. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but this is what I went through, and this is what I learned from it. And I can share my experience, my strength that I learned from it, and then the hope that others too will get through something similar. that's where, I've created more connection, more community with people when you just get real and raw and say it like it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're expressing your true authentic self. You're allowing yourself to be seen in your entirety. And I feel that, especially when we're going through something really difficult, like grieving a loss or dealing with an illness or being in pain, emotional pain or physical pain, oftentimes we feel that we have to hide it, or the opposite. We feel like we have to set up camp there and live there forever.
Mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I felt pretty stuck for a long time, and I feel like I was waiting for a cure for CRPS, for this nerve disease. I was trying all these different treatments. Um, I was on 73 homeopathic pills and 11 different prescription medications. I had ketamine infusions. I had never done a drug in my life. And now all of a sudden they were trying to reboot my nervous system with ketamine. I had a spinal stimulator where they inject these metal leads into your spine, all as a way of just trying to give me some comfort when what I really needed was more mental strength. I needed to shift my mindset and figure out a way that I could get through. And yeah, some days are tough. And I'm not saying that we have to push hard and push through every single day. Sometimes we have to give ourselves grace and just maybe even take a day off. But when I learned that, we can still have a life of joy and a fulfilling life despite, pain or struggles or big time challenges, we can choose to build on top of that joy. Then I thought, well, okay, I can still live with this nerve disease and still find things that bring me joy and still find purpose. And when I started to do things, it and showed others that they could do the same, it really gave my pain purpose. And I feel like when, as you start to move and overcome these little obstacles and you celebrate your small victories along the way, you start to gain strength. And how you build that emotional resilience, that emotional strength is the same as you do if you want to get a stronger body and you go to the gym. And you can't get strong by just saying you've got a gym membership. You actually have to like put on the gym clothes, get to the gym, pick up the dumbbells, do the reps, and do the time in the gym and really work at it every day. And it's the same thing to get stronger. Spiritually, I can't just wish I was more spiritually connected. I actually have to get on my knees and pray. I actually have to connect with, my sober sisters every day. I have a group of girls, we call ourselves the God Squad, and every day we connect with each other and we share what we're grateful for. And that has given me strength spiritually, knowing that I'm connected with a community of women who are connected with their higher power, and we're sharing our struggles as well as what we're grateful for. So strength in every way. I think it's not, I used to be all focused on just getting stronger physically, and it's like, yeah, we got to work on our physical strength, but we also, if we really want to transform our life, have to work on our emotional strength, our spiritual strength, our mental, every kind of strength. And when something feels like out of balance or out of whack in my life, when I'm not feeling as strong, I do a check with myself and I'm like, okay, what am I doing? And usually every single time it's because I've skipped my workout, or I didn't do my morning ritual where I have my prayer and meditation, and I write to my sober sisters what I'm grateful for. And so I think and it may seem like a lot of work to do all these things, and it is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, this morning I knew I had to, I had a busy day. I started online at 6 this morning. So I knew if I wanted to fit in my practice so I would have strength mentally, spiritually to get through my busy day. I woke up at 4:15 this morning. Gosh, it was early, but you know what? I knew that I would have an easier day. I would have the strength. And that's something to, we can tap into, we can start our day over if something comes up. But if we build our day from the beginning, as a way of really getting our strength from something bigger than us, from, like with prayer, with meditation, then it's going to guarantee we're going to have an easier day. Yes, things come up, but we know we can tap into that same practice that we had in the morning to get us through those tough times.
Yes. Oh, Amberly, thank you so much. I love everything that you said, and it just continues to reaffirm why you are one of the most inspirational people that I know. So thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for this incredible book. I mean, we were saying before we even started recording, I was like, this book has inspired me so much. I know what I'm giving as a gift to all of my friends and family, my clients, because it's so authentically, beautifully written with your stories, the lessons that you learned, and the hope that it's going to give so many people to live a fulfilled life full of love. Oh, it's incredible. And congratulations. It's amazing. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you I'm like blushing. Thank you so much. Where can everybody that's watching this contact you, get more information?
Oh yeah, come on Instagram to see some behind the scenes shenanigans at Amberly Lago Motivation. All my links are there, or amberlylago.com. You can find my podcast, my book. You can listen to my interview with Rosie.
Oh goodness, yes. And we'll put all of those links in the description below. And as we all want to just have this conversation continue, actually, we will link the episodes that we've done both on your podcast and mine below in the description. So if you want to listen to those are really great. Yeah. So everybody, thank you so much. I'm so humbled by this experience and by having incredible friends like Amberly join me on this journey, this book journey, this life journey. So thank you, Amberly, again. I just want to acknowledge you for that and for just everything that you do in the world, and for your heart and your love and your commitment to helping everybody around you and your followers and everything. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to shout this book off the rooftops.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. All right, everybody, tune back in tomorrow for the closing final chapter.